Hello, kids. Welcome back to another installment of OCD Hi-Fi Guy. And today, I'm going to show you how to create a hi-fi product because I'm an expert at making something look like it's worth way more than it is. Because I went to the school of hard knocks. So here's a typical. This is my product. Okay. So you know, I'm not talking about anybody else's stuff. Now I'm going to go right at my stuff. I'm going right for the throat because I created this, and this is something I did with my company. I used to have an amplifier company in California. I ran that for several years, and I took a schooling. You know, got my ass whooped. So I'm not an administrator. Let's put it that way. I'm just not. I'm an OCD freak, and I need to just be tied up in the backyard or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, okay. So look, here's how it goes. We start out with the chassis, right? Okay. So what I'm doing here is I want to make an audiophile amp. I want to make something that I can put on the market that I can pitch as audiophile because then I can charge 4 times more than I would if I was pitching it as pro. Okay. So listen up. Hear me now. Believe me later. Okay. Check it out. First thing we start with, freaking Allen screws. Do not use regular screws. Use freaking Allen screws, even better yet, Torx, safety screws. You know, that is at least worth $500 more on the damn product. Use Allen screws everywhere, okay? Then we got this, you know, sprayed, the same thing as I was talking about, bent metal and sprayed. Except this is not steel. I actually went one step further, and I made it Allandine coated aluminum. So this is aluminum with a coating that blocks RF, okay? So I guess I'm going to give people a little bit more than the next guy, but I'm still going to make this thing and make it look, just watch the little tricks here, okay? So these actually, okay, so here's another thing. So I did a little extra. I've got RF absorber up here, okay? And it's right up there, and it's right up there on either side. That means that where these, you know, old school B&O ice modules are, they spew RF, man. And so I'm going to catch it right up over here on the wall inside and try and keep it from propagating waves inside there, okay? So I guess I did something also cool. I made a dual mono, so I split it down the middle, okay? But check it out. All this stuff that I'm doing, it's not that much more. It adds like $5 to the freaking chassis. But I can at least charge $500 more for that shit. You know, because look, it's dual mono. Whoa, look at that symmetry, man. You know, that's killer, okay? Look, 2 power inlets. Woo! That is seriously kicking ass now. Now we're really talking dual mono because it needs 2 power cords, baby. It needs 2 fuses. It's rocking, okay? Well, guess what? I sell power cords too. That's right. So, okay. So, got the binding posts. Could have done better there. They're the gold. They're just kind of regulars, kind of cheapies. Could have put WBT. Yep, could have done that because WBT definitely shows well. Definitely makes it worth $1,000 more. Okay, so and it could have done the binding post with WBT. But okay, so these are basic binding posts. 2 inputs. Okay, so these are like what? I don't know, $15, something like that. So now grand total cost of I turned it from 15 to 30. Ooh, it really went up in price. But trust me, on the back end, this thing went up. Okay. Now we go in here, okay? We got a B&O ice module. This is like I went to the grocery store and grabbed something off the shelf. There's no innovation there. I bought it from someone else, okay? I paid $250 for it. This is a 250 ASX2. That means this thing is 500 watts when bridged in BTL mode, okay? BTL means balanced, okay? So that means if you're coming in on the back single-ended, in order to make it balanced, you need to split the phase. Well, I got a great idea. I know what splits a phase. What? A vacuum tube. I love vacuum tubes. So do audiophiles because they glow and they're pretty and they can roll tubes. I can charge a lot more if I put a damn little glowing vacuum tube in there. That's what I'm going to do. So I hired an engineer. I paid him $800. He made the part of this design. It's $500 or $800, I can't remember. One-time deal. And then after that, this design is mine. I've got Gerber files. I can go have these boards made for $10 a piece. Okay, and then whatever the transformer costs a little bit more. Maybe these things, this thing assembled with the tube, maybe, depends where I buy. But if I go overseas and I buy some volume, $15, $20, something like that. Who knows? Okay, but cheap. Cheap. Maybe even less. Okay, but we use good transformers. I think I've got Jensen's in there. I do. I've got Jensen's in there. So at least I did something right. And WEMA. Okay, so I'm not totally chinsing out. These are all audiophile buzzwords, Jensen and WEMA. Okay, people look for that. If it says, you know, Ying Chow on there, it's not going to be the same if it says Jensen. Okay, I can charge more for Jensen. Okay, so we go back here. We got the caps. We got another Jensen transformer. That is the output transformer. Well, let's see. No, that is the input. No, that's the power transformer, I guess. Who knows? See, I don't even know what the hell this shit is. Okay, but I hire people for it. Okay, what I did was I put a front end here. This is the front end that goes on the module. This is the thing that everybody and their brother can buy, and it's nothing. It's no big deal. It's a commodity. It's like a frickin' pork belly. You know, there's that many of them. And so we've got the switch. We've got the dual switches on the front. So there's dual power switches. Okay. And basically, each side of this is a full amplifier. This is a full amplifier. And they're just two single monoblocks inside one chassis. That's pretty cool. Okay. This is an audiophile type setup. Normal companies don't do it this way because why would they do it this way? Okay. I know how an audiophile mind thinks. Okay. Because I am one. So my mind goes cuckoo when I see this layout. I know it's made for me. This is made for the audiophile. So for sure, I'm already broken in. I already know the price is going to be high. I'm just like, how high is it going to be? Like how hard is this going to be to take when they tell me the price? Okay. So that's it. Okay. It's no magic. I put some rubber feet on the bottom. Those are my extra special vibration damping devices made out of a polymer substance that we found while exploring in the jungle, but that's the polymer right there. The proprietary polymer substance, patented, whatever the hell. It depends on what the people have that you buy it from. But, okay, so this is it, man. This is freaking nothing. Okay. These things are $225. These things are $25. Those things, let's say another $30 together, the switches and the case was, let's say $200 max. Okay. So this whole thing is, let's see, that's $500. 500, almost say 550. Let's see, 650, 750, 850. So we're looking at like 850, I guess. Something like that, all said and done. I sell it for $5,000. You're damn straight I do. Why? Because it's worth it. Why? Because the other thing that has tubes and 500 watts per channel is also $5,000. So I can charge it. Why wouldn't I? But mine is dual mono. Theirs isn't. Mine has got an Aladdin chassis where the RF doesn't bounce around. Theirs doesn't. I've got more things that more points to pitch because I've loaded this with pitch points on purpose. I'm going to say Jensen. I'm going to say WEMA. I'm going to say vacuum tube. Goodness, I will. Trust me, I will have an eloquent way to get you all fired up that it's got a vacuum tube in there. And I'm not going to call it vacuum tube and make it one sentence. It's going to be like 5 sentences to describe vacuum tube. Okay? So this is how it's done. Just like that. Bam. Killer audiophile product. This is sweet. Perfect for the marketplace. We juice this up. We put some marketing behind it. We get it in the magazines. We get our guys that we know at the magazines to review it. Bam. You guys are going to buy it like nuts. All we got to do is get people talking about it. Bam, bam, bam. See ya. I'm going to the bank. Okay? That's how it works. Okay? Let's go to the next product. Okay, here's another thing. Oh, fuck. EKK, here we are for the next product on deck. OCD Mikey audiophile product number 2. Okay, as you can see, this one I went a little, see the front panel on that one is like, look, I went a full 1/4 inch on this puppy. Okay, so that's beautiful. This one is steel, bent steel. No Aladdin inside. And what this is a tube buffer stage. So the way I would market this is to home theater people, okay? And it would be, pitch would go something like this, are, you sick and tired of the same old, who knows what the hell. It would basically be saying that your home stereo or your home theater receiver sounds like crap because it's a transistor thing and it's just a crappy thing, and you want to run it through tubes, because tubes give you the natural life of blah 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 blah, and be something eloquent, whatever, crazy, but it's the truth, man. You add some distortion in there, it makes it sound better. It makes it sound more like real life. So this is great for intelligibility and stuff like that in home theater. All we do is we go in and out. All we do is we come in here, okay, and we go right in the tube and right out the tube and back out. Okay, so that's it, man. Just a tube. We come in, whoop, into the tube, boom, back out of the tube, shoo, in and out. No big deal. Okay, I also did use Wema. I also did hire the same tube guy to make this for me and to create the design, and then I can go from there. Ooh, that looks nasty. But I think it's all right. So see what I was doing here. This is kind of cool. Is in a 2-channel rig, I've got 3 different types of tubes. So I can tube roll, and I can A, B, C them to check out what the 3 different types of tubes sound like. So it's kind of a tube roller checker now. Look at that. Just laying in the chassis, and an old RCA, pretty killer ECC 83. Anyways, okay, what's in this thing? Okay, $5, $6, $10 max for this toroid. Okay, a little fuse thing, 50 cents or $1. These things 50 cents a piece. A little wire free, basically that, the tubes, whatever the tubes are, these are an NOS, so maybe they're, $20 or something like that, but they could be as low as, $3 or something if you wanted to go Chinese. And then Wema, of course, we want to use Wema, but look how few caps there are in there. Okay, look at the power supply. It's teeny. Okay, and this thing, $3,500, easy. Okay, because you know what? Both of these things sound really good. Okay, because the beauty of something that sounds good is in the circuit. It's not in anything else but the circuit. But just because it sounds good doesn't mean it's expensive. Okay, because y'all know that. These things both sound phenomenal. They actually do sound really good. But the bottom line is it's exponential markup, right? $3,500 for this, it's like, wow, that's a lot. But people are used to it, okay? And so that's what happens, okay? So now I've shown you how I would do the, 2-step, the jive, the whatever you want to call it, man. But it's creating an audiophile product based on marketing, based on hype, based on, what people get giddy goo-goo about. They get all that. They get like that about vacuum tubes, right? That's audiophiles freak on vacuum tubes. So I can make anything with a vacuum tube, pretty much. An alarm clock with a damn vacuum tube in it. They're going to buy it for $500 if I put a nice speaker on it, it's like, it's the bottom line. It's what people are accustomed to, okay? So that's all I'm trying to do is with the other thing, yeah, I picked out something that had a brand that was, I didn't know what the hell it was. I didn't know it was going to cause people to freaking melt down and all the crap, just go get all ballistic over it, That's not my intent, man. My intent was not to do that. My intent was just to grab a piece and just cost it out for you, show you how what it costs from a manufacturer, because this is when I owned that company in California. I owned an amplifier manufacturer for 2 years in Northern California, and I saw the whole thing. I know how much these things cost. I know how much amps cost and DACs and whatever. I can just look inside there. I can tell quickly by the board, what's involved in it. What's the build level? And that's what I was trying to point out from the other. Like, what's the build level? By looking at the chassis, I can tell by where the screws are on the chassis. They're on the in here. I can tell it's a bent metal lid. Now you want to see the antithesis of this is bullshit hi-fi, okay? Like, it's good, don't get me wrong, okay? This is good, but it's not innovative. Man, this is off the shelf. This is, any dum-dum can do a vacuum tube phase splitter, and then the power supply. It's like, if this is dum-dum audio, but you could easily sell it as hi-fi because of the way it's laid out, man, and it looks hi-fi. And it does sound good, okay? But here's the real deal. Okay, look at this thing. You want to see something that's the real deal? Okay, that's freaking billet aluminum, okay? There are no sides. There are no panels on this. Why? Because this was a freaking block of aluminum that was completely machined out, okay? Here's plexiglass on the top, or lucite, whatever it is, some sort of acrylic. And we go back here. Yeah, let's make sure I can turn this on. Okay, and okay, so it's LED lit. That's kind of cool. It just gives a little ambiance. Okay, but you know, we look in here, we see how it's laid out. We look at this thing. It's beautiful. It's unique. It looks different. This does not look like normal stuff you see. Look at the caps those are decals. Okay, so it's little embellishments, but it does look nice. You know, and then okay, and here's where the rubber hits the road. This is a freaking output device. This is the board. This is the output board, okay? And it's inside a vacuum tube. And that is a Class D amp module. That's bad to the bone. He put it inside a glass envelope. He put it inside a KT88 tube. Or 6550, whatever it is. I think it's KT88. But that is killer. How did he do that? It's like shipping a bottle. How the hell did he get it in there? I don't know, man. With toothpicks. You know? Who knows? But the bottom line is, now there is some innovation, you know? There is a well-built product. Even if it's not innovative, you can look at that chassis and you know this dude spent some dough. Okay, what does that tell me? Tells me he's committed to the design. Tells me this guy is putting his ass on the line because he's going all the way, baby. He's not sparing any expense. He's going to go for it. He's going for it. And then we come around back and we see, you know, WBT binding posts. Killer. Okay, we go back over here and he's got single-ended and balanced, and then look at the switch is way in there because that's how thick. The sides of this thing are 1 inch thick. That's how thick it is on the walls. I've never seen 1 inch aluminum like in a piece like that. It's ridiculous. This thing weighs like 25 pounds. It's so stout. It's incredible. And you know, it's got the WBTs, regular just inputs, but that is smooth. That is sexy. That is innovative. That is worth money. Okay. That's something that's worth money. That is not something that's worth money. That is not something that's worth money. These are just Me Too products. You know why they call them Me Too? Because me can do it too, man. Yep. So, wow. Whoa. Oh, I almost just fell on my whole rig there. I'm getting old and fat, and that's not good for walking around and like tiptoeing through the tulips. So, anyways, so I'm calling myself out. This is my design and it's BS audio. This is my design and it's BS audio. I'm calling myself out. I'm not afraid to, because I'm telling you that that's how I used to roll. Because you know what? Hey, I'm not smart enough to do that kind of shit. I can make it look cool. I'll tell you, I can make good design, aesthetic design. And I can show you some of my designs. But you know, one day I decided, you know what? I can't go around selling stuff like this. You know, how can I feel good? I know this designer. Alberto. I know Jeff Rowland. He's my buddy. Am I going to go to Jeff and show him this thing and be like, hey, dude, look at my creation? You know, it's going to be like, oh, great. You know, Mikey's, Neo Maxi Zune Dweeby. Who knows? Mikey does some, you know, whatever. He's doing some crap off the shelf and trying to do some stuff. It's almost a mockery of like what someone like Jeff or Alberto does. These guys worked their ass off. They went major school, major experience, major trial and error, major money they've spent into stuff to get to this level and to get to Jeff's. He's tucked back there, but to get to Jeff's level, there we go. You know, I mean, those are the guys. Those are the real guys. And here I come trying to show like I am one of those guys, and I'm posing. I'm not one of those guys, but I want to be because I think they're cool. So I make something like this based on what I know that audiophiles like. This will sell. I go out and market it. Trust me, it'll sell. But it's not the real deal, and I can't feel good about it because there's no real integrity in it, man. It's not innovative. I'm not inventing anything. You know, I'm just grabbing off-the-shelf parts and jimmying it together, making it look like an audiophile product, and throwing it out there. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking to some of these. You just to keep you guys aware, man. You know? Some of the stuff is like this. Some of the stuff is like that. They are not freaking alike. They are not even close to alike. There's nothing similar about them. And there's bozos out there that'll go, oh, well, it's a Class D module in there and a Class D module in there, and why is that one so much more? Well, come on, man. I mean, take a look. That's why. This is off-the-shelf, dumb stuff, third grader audio. Any third grader that took electronics class, can you imagine that? Any eighth grader that took electronics class could basically make one of these. It's a phase inverter, it's a power supply, it's a module, it's a couple switches and some inputs and outputs. It's not special, okay? But I can make it look special by doing a mirror image dual mono just like this, and I can charge for that because I'm fleecing you. I'm distracting you with all the pretty things. I'm doing the smoke and mirrors, you know? I'm just arranging it in a way that the geometry fools you into thinking it's hi-fi, right? And I got to say, you know, I mean, it does sound pretty damn good, okay? But it's not worth, you know, $5,000, okay? It does sound killer. It's not worth $5,000, okay? But that is easily the price for a 500 watt per channel hybrid Class D with, you know, vacuum tube input stage, you know, and all that. So trust me, there's ways to sell it. And you know what? Hang on one second because I want to show you another example. Just hold on. Welcome back. Now I invite you to observe and realize and be aware of this product here built by Mr. Jeff Rowland. Okay, so let's look at this chassis and let's see what the, you know, expense looks like on this thing. Okay, well, all B. This is not, let's see. Let's go to the back. Let's see, is there a line back here? Nope, there's no line. See how that's solid all the way across? There's no lines. You know what that means? That means this whole thing, this whole black piece was 4 times the chunk of that. A giant friggin' block of aluminum. And everything was milled, everything was machined out. All the way through these holes on the side, all the way back there, all the way here, these ovals with a bevel. You see how they have the bevel? Well, let's see if you can see that or not. But there's a bevel, there you go. See that bevel here? Okay, a nice bevel all the way around. Same with all these holes, they're beveled. Okay, a nice smooth radius edge. That means a machine had to come and cut and mill this down. If you look at this top, see if you can hear this. You hear that? Normal aluminum doesn't do that. Well, why is that, Mikey? It's because you can't see right now, but there are very fine lines that have been cut that are in a circular shape like this. I can feel it's like the grooves of a record, okay? And it goes all the way up, which makes it a more resilient cover and less likely to scratch. If you just put straight aluminum on it, it would scratch way easier. This thing, because of these little cuts that are in there, it doesn't scratch. It's nearly as easy as a standard uncut. You know, this is like diamond cut. Who knows how it was done, but there was a machine with a fine cutting blade that went ying, 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 you know, 1,000,000 times till it got to the back. Okay, so we've got a huge old chunk of billet. Okay, so let's look, I mean, just look at the lid. The lid is 1/4 inch thick. The lid is the same as it's actually more than, it's wider. That's not even 1/4. That's probably just under 1/4. But look at this. Okay, I'm going to pull this up. Got to be careful here. Okay, look at that. Wait, can you see that? Yeah. See, it's like, oh, let's see. I mean, that is serious. That is seriously heft. Oh, there, I get to show that off again. Look, Jeff signed that for me. That's pretty cool. Okay, now, look at that. Huh? Dude, come on. You got to be really, really dense in the skull if you can't look at that and tell that that is wicked high performance. That's ridiculous. Look at these things. Look at the precision with the way these are placed in there. Look at the board, how clean it is. Look at that. Learn, recognize. That's badass right there. Bam, unbelievable. Look at the rails are these, he's got these bus bars. Nobody else does that, man, except Jeff. Those blue things, those carry the voltage down for the output devices. And they're all laid in there nice and tight. And look, there's no line. Do you see the line? Look, we're looking for lines. Do you see a line there? No, you don't. You see a little radiused corner. That means this was milled out, and underneath there's a power supply, and that was milled out. So there's a middle section in here of aluminum that's just, they scoop this out and they scoop the bottom out and they put the amp up here and the power supply underneath. Freaking-credible. Nobody does that, okay? Jeff does. Anybody else that has anything that looks like that is a copy. So he's an innovator, okay? That's what I dream about, doing stuff like this. This is way beyond my skill level, man. You know, I'm relegated to the cable thing. That's all I'm able to do. But I did just get a patent, and you guys will see it later. Because I turned from this to a patent guy. I went from a me too to a not you. So anyways, look, so Lundahl transformers. You know, over here I got the, Jensen's, you know? He's got Lundahl of Sweden. Or Switzerland, Sweden. Lundahl of Sweden. And it's custom, you know, because it has his number right there. JR8018. Nobody else has that. That's made for Jeff, for this amp. So this amp is a culmination of custom parts. It's a culmination of custom rails and things that people don't do. It's got a heat sink right here that goes, that is for pressing up against the lid. And so the heat sink, it can heat sink the lid as well. So this is how to recognize something that's worth it. People don't put their eyes on this. They just see a box. They don't see frickin' 30-pound billet block machined that takes like 3 days of a robot machining, you know, or whatever it takes, you know. It's a long-ass time, and that's how they bill. They bill by the hour of shit. They bill by the minute, man. And this is like days or whatever. It's for sure 6 hours, I think. I can't remember what it was, but it's a long-ass time for a robotic CNC to be working on a piece of aluminum, okay? And then we go to the back. What do we got on the back, okay? Well, proprietary Cardus connectors. And not only that, but he's got a pair of them. Two different, they do the same thing. They're part of the same channel. That's so that in one install, you might want the speaker cables coming in from the side. The other install, you might want them dropping down from the back. Well, Jeff has thought about that, and he's been considerate enough to put it on the amp for you so that you don't have to run into any installation problems where your wires are all tweaked. You can either drop them straight down or you can pull them out to the side. And then he's got the nice Cardus XLR. See, there's no RCA on here. You know why? Because he's not trying to fool anybody. This thing is really differential. It's truly balanced. It's not a fake out. You know, like mine, I don't even have it. I'm not even faking out on mine, thank God. At least it just stays single-ended. But, okay, so, you know, Jeff's amps are fully differential. What does fully differential mean? Okay, what that means is it uses twice the amount of parts that a normal single-ended amp uses, okay? Single-ended is just signal, signal and ground. That's it. The XLR, or balanced, has three: signal positive, signal negative, and ground. So signal positive and signal negative are completely they're out of phase with one another, and it's to keep the noise down. And there's zero noise on differential gear if it's done well, you know. And usually the only people that venture into it are the ones that know how to do it well, because it costs twice as much. There's twice as many parts to blow. You have to match them with such precision so that this channel is not different than that channel. And also within this channel that the dual polarities are perfectly matched, and then the dual polarities over here are perfectly matched, and then those two match one another. So it's a double matching process. Okay, and then who knows what the hell that finish is. I'll guarantee it, it's like they don't do it for anybody else. That looks like I'm sitting here, it looks like I'm looking at ivory pillars. That's what this looks like. Can you see that? It looks like pillars that are backlit, like ivory that's got a light inside. That is so cool, man. And that's aluminum. How do they do that? I don't know. But nobody else has it, okay? This is an exquisite, exotic piece of equipment. This is worth more money. Hello? I will gladly pay retail. I think it's fairly priced totally. This is one of the few products I think is fairly priced. Look, I've listened to it. I've lived with it. It's worth the price. There's a lot worse. I mean, I'm not going to say names, but there's one big amp out right now that's 250 grand, okay? And it's a big, it's giant. It's like whatever, 10,000 watts or 5,000 watts, whatever. It's a giant big Goliath, okay? If you look inside that thing on the website, go look inside of it and tell me if it looks like this, or tell me if it looks like 1983 with some of those early, big Goliath amps. That's what it looks like in there. It does not look like this. This is technology. The other stuff is old school. So why is it $250,000 when the shit was designed in 1983? Well, I don't know, because it's got a beautiful chassis and it's got a wonderful name and whatever. It looks cool, okay? Well, here's technology, okay? I'm just trying to teach something here. I want you guys to be aware, because look, the whole way that a lot of this hi-fi company, this type shit, is because we know that you're not educated. We know that you can't tell by looking in here what's going on. We know that you see a double mirror image and you think that is something special. Well, dude, that's just how I laid the crap out. So, I did that on purpose. Dual plugins, another whatever, $13 I spent on the extra one to do that. Another $5 for the divider down the middle, Okay, this is someone getting crafty with hi-fi. This is someone that it's their passion and their life's creation to do hi-fi, man. Look at that, and you should hear it. It's unfreaking believable how this thing sounds. It's whatever. Anything that somebody puts this much passion into is going to be freaking incredible. Ferrari 12-cylinder. That's what I see when I look at this thing. It's like, that's a Ferrari 12-cylinder. That's a McLaren right there. That's a Koenigsegg. This is the shit right there. So anyways, okay, I'm off the whole thing, but that's how strongly I feel about it. And I just don't think you guys get it, because I hear people talk about Jeff Stone, too expensive. It's like, dude, are you kidding me? Tell me what is more in it, what is more unique than this? Tell me what looks like I'm just saying looks, because that's the simplest thing we could say. What even looks like this? Okay, that's the simplest, stupidest thing, But then what performs like this is, we can start getting into the complexities of this thing. And you should see the power supply. I'm not even going to go into the power supply. That thing is so damn advanced. It's like it's got power supply rejection. It's like 99% efficient. This amp has like 0.0003 distortion. This is an instrument. It's a medical grade instrument. For sure. Okay? So there is a difference, man, between this and this. That's why this one is what costs whatever it does. $5,000 was what I was selling it for. And then that's why this one's 15, 16. I would much rather spend the money on this. This is an heirloom quality. I could pass this down from generation to generation. Jeff is still taking in amps and refurbing them and stuff that people still have that are like 40 years old. It's incredible. I told him, Jeff, man, you got to stop supporting those after 20 years, man. But he's so committed, man. His heart's so far into it that he still takes care of these people and just, charges them peanuts for it because they bought it when it was, $1,500 or whatever. So I'm proud to have this stuff. That's another thing, pride of ownership. I am proud to own something that is this type of a creation because you know what? I know what it is. It's like you guys out there that get into watches. I don't get watches, okay? That's something I don't understand. But to me, this is my watch. This is just like some gorgeous Patek Philippe or whatever. I don't even know what brands to use because I don't know which ones are good. But I think I saw that in a magazine somewhere. So anyways, I just want to bring that up. This is killer audio. This is killer audio from Alberto. That is gorgeous, beautiful. This is the latest technology, Class D. This is as far as you'll see Class A, B ever go. I don't think it'll get any more. This is A, B to the max. It won't go any further than this. It's going to be Class D. That's where we're headed. Now, Jeff has a couple amps up there that are Class D. And we'll do some listening tests later. But I just want to do this little piece for you guys to show you that, look, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to educate you guys the difference between this kind of hi-fi and this kind of hi-fi. And so that you know where the value is, okay? And you know that this kind of hi-fi is by a marketing joker. Some guy who wants to just market something that's off the shelf that's nothing special at all. This is just old junk. The Class D modules are new, so those are cool. But everything else is just, you 1948, who knows? You know, this is something different. That's something different. The freaking output stage is in a goddamn. Okay, this is the output to. This is the output stage. Okay, you get it? This whole thing. All these rows of output device. That's the output stage. That is inside that tube. This is inside there. Obviously, it's a lot less power, but still, man, it's the whole freaking output section. I can change my output section by unplugging that tube, and then I just unplugged all those devices there. And it's like I can plug another tube back in with a completely different output section. And I just changed my output sections by lifting a tube out and putting another one in. Ha! That is clever. That is cool. That is worth money, okay? Because it's convenient, because it's got function. It does something. It doesn't just look a certain way. It actually has a function, okay? It's actually not off the shelf. It's actually ground up, designed in-house. That's the difference, okay? So there it is. You know, sorry if my tone of voice is a little too aggro or, you know, intense or, you know, whatever. But, you know, I'm passionate about this stuff too. And I'm trying, and I'm fed up with the way the industry is right now. It's a joke. It's going to hell in a handbasket, man. And you know what? You freaking audiophiles, you buyers, I'm telling you, I'm part of the problem too. Back in the day, I'll admit it, caused it. And I'll tell you how next video. See ya. I thought y'all might get a kick out of this. Look at that. There's a music server for $4,000. And here we go. Same thing, man. Except this one has a USB output card. So this one's even better. But same kind of board, mini ITX, same thing. And with an SOTM board, $400. $400 for the board. You know, 120 for the Mobo. Let's see, about maybe 30 for 8 gigs of RAM, maybe 50 for 8 gigs of RAM, the older one, DDR3. DDR3L, the low power one. And then we would just put a solid state drive for $150 for 1 terabyte. And we're good to go. A power supply. You just plug it in out here on the outside to the 12 volt right there. So that's it, man. This is a damn music server. This is no damn server. Okay, if you know computers, a server is a workhorse. This is not a workhorse. This is a player. This is a streamer or a player, not a server. Okay, server is a big fat pig that has huge noisy processors on it. Okay, so there you have it, and we will see you soon.